After months of friendlies, of selecting players, taking a look at everyone, the United States men's national team will play a meaningful game. And the payoff of winning against Honduras Thursday night in Denver is a first matchup against Mexico. We hope the first of many matchups, which will be important for the United States to see where they are, and also very important in developing excitement for the public eye, because USA-Mexico games carry more weight than anything. This is the Soccer OG. We're digging into the summer, some big news ahead, road trip coming for yours truly, merchandise coming around the corner as well. Imagine you walking around with the Soccer OG t-shirt. You will look pretty fly. And it'll be a great conversation piece. We need your subscription, so hit the button, subscribe right now. And these great videos will continue to come so you are educated and ready to go for this summer and you can show off at parties. That's important, right? Can't believe it's here. And now you got to seize this moment. All these friendlies, all the camps and the rosters have come to this. Even this Sunday, the United States losing to Switzerland played at altitude, so to speak, sort of, to get ready for a game in Denver. So the Nation League semifinals are Thursday. The United States play Honduras. That'll be at 7:30 Eastern. At 10 o'clock Eastern, nice and late for the East Coast crowd, Mexico and Costa Rica. The stadium there, it's where the Broncos play, the Empower Field at Mile High, will allow 30,000 fans. So this is pretty much the first time this U.S. team will play in front of fans. A lot of firsts here for a young team, so we don't really know how they are going to react. They've looked good, although the Switzerland test was disappointing in many ways, and the U.S. have to play much better than they did, at least in that second half. I thought they were good in the first half. A lot of good bright spots there. But now they're going to face Honduras. It won't be the end of the world if they lose to Honduras. It really would be a punch in the stomach. And they may not face Mexico in the final, but I think if you look at these semis, Mexico is going to be facing a Costa Rica team. And we can talk a little bit about Mexico too, because they're part of this. I thought they looked really good. Chucky Lozano came off the bench for them. Diego Lainez had a full game to show what he could do. And with Chucky, they looked very solid. They need a center forward. I don't know who is going to fill that role. It's not going to be Raul Jimenez. He's on that roster, but all this secrecy about how far along he is tells me that he is not close to playing, and you can't throw him in there after the injury that he suffered. So Mexico have a big hole at the top of their attack. They're talking about maybe moving Chucky there. I don't know if that's the wisest maneuver, but Diego Lainez looked good. They still rely on Andres Guardado. Hector Herrera is important a player that Mexico has, and maybe the best at that position still in the region. There are question marks there, but they're going to face a Costa Rica team without Keylor Navas, the best goalkeeper in the region. Christian Gamboa, who plays in Germany, is really regarded as that big Costa Rican export, also unavailable. They have some good European, not just European, but MLS-based players. Oscar Duarte, Joel Campbell, who plays in Mexico, Randall Leal, who plays in Major League Soccer for Nashville. They have some of those old-timers there, Celso Borges. We knew about that golden generation for Costa Rica that we saw at the 2010 World Cup. That generation's still flickering a bit, but they need to replenish it. I think Mexico wins this game comfortably. The United States should beat Honduras comfortably as well. But as you look at this Honduras squad, very, very long in the tooth. They have Romel Kyoto, I think, is in the roster. I have to double check because I know he was injured and he was left off, so he might be back. Boniek Garcia comes back. He's 36. Minor Figueroa, they expect him to be the center back. He's 38, and he's been an incredible servant, but they rely on the older players a lot. Albert Elise is in his 30s, had a great season at Boa Vista, scored 8 goals and helped get them off the bottom of the ladder in the Portuguese league, so they were safety. They do have some good, well, before I get to that, the experience for Honduras is a good thing, but it's going to be really big here because the USA are playing a meaningful game, because they're playing with fans there for the first time. Experience is something that you can parry against this U.S. team because the U.S. doesn't have it. They don't have. This has been a very difficult Brendan Aronson said it himself. He said, a lot of us haven't done it, and it's good preparation. It would be folly to think the USA are just going to roll into this. I think it's going to be a grind. And they're gonna be going up against some men. And these are boys still. This is a young team. They're figuring things out. We've seen the Swiss kind of push them around a little bit, and Honduras is going to make it very physical. And when you get a physical game, if the referee allows it, and CONCACAF it generally does, then the United States may find themselves grasping for air at altitude. That said, Honduras is going to be a bit slow. Honduras is going to be a bit obvious in many ways, and if that press that the U.S. has applied, we saw it against Switzerland, they can do that efficiently and force some mistakes from Honduras, they will be able to score some goals. One guy I will keep an eye on the Honduran squad that is very impressive is Edwin Rodriguez, who was the big key player for Honduras in their efforts of qualifying for the Olympics. And that brings up a revenge factor, Honduras beating the United States. Now, if the United States want to be taken seriously, they can't be losing games to Honduras left and right. They can lose to Honduras once in a blue moon, but you can't lose the Olympic team. You can't lose this squad as well. So the games on Thursday set it up. You've got to beat Honduras. If you play Mexico with all the talent they have and lose on Sunday, that's fine. You've got to play it because it will be electric. People will be tuning in to see what goes on, to see what this U.S. team is all about. And in that situation, the USA could win it. You just can't clip the hurdle beforehand. Will be interesting to see who joins the team that started against the Swiss. Christian Pulisic coming back. I wonder if he's going to be thrust into the situation for a Thursday game. Zach Steffen will probably start because he'll be fresh. There is some gaps there. I think defensively, as I said on my last video, Serginho Dest is going to be key. He has to be in the 11, but he can't be isolated as a left back. John Brooks proved that he is an important part of this team so he can protect Serginho in a lot of cases. Who plays alongside him? Mark McKenzie was good. Is he the long-term choice? I don't know. I just don't know how far along some of these competitions are. Yunus Musa didn't start against the Swiss. I don't know if that's what if it means he's going to be coming in for this game. Probably. The midfield now with no Tyler Adams. Weston McKennie was solid against Switzerland, but what happens to the Tyler Adams role? It's going to fall for an MLS base player. Maybe Sebastian Lletget. I would imagine Jackson Ewell. It depends if it's the 6 or if it's that 8 position. By the way, I like the Nations League. This first edition's good. It's going to be a trophy. Can you imagine the USA at a trophy? There's going to be fans there. I can't wait for that Sunday night, and I'm hope to be there as we will continue to provide the best coverage on the U.S. national team heading towards this summer. One thing the U.S. have to face too, it's going to be 3 games in 8 days. So that is going to be extremely demanding. That's where depth has to come and play a big role. So a lot of guys will play over these games. Thursday, Sunday, that's not a lot of gaps in between, but it's something you have to get accustomed. The U.S. team has a game afterwards against Costa Rica, and Greg Berhalter is trying to make it look like it's a World Cup campaign where you have 4 games or so over a couple weeks. One big concern is Josh Sargent. It looks like he is the guy. Daryl Dike did not dress against Switzerland, and he is not in the Nations League squad. So the center forward, we saw Jordan Siebatcheu come on. It's going to be Josh Sargent. He's not producing. We've been waiting and waiting. We know he has the talent, and we know he is positionally aware. He can score goals. But when? We've got to see it. This is huge. Maybe it's a factor of who's around him, but we can't be dilly-dallying. If Daryl Dike is the guy, we need to give him games. We needed to give him a game there. We need to find a scoring option there, or we have to maybe move someone as a false 9. Gio Reyna, you don't sit Reyna. It'll probably be Brendan Aronson. You don't sit Brendan Aronson if Josh Sargent's not scoring. You bring him and you maybe bring Pulisic as a false 9. It's a desperate act, but Josh Sargent has to score goals for this team to succeed. And I hope those goals come on Thursday. So tune on in. Here we go. Games for real. Could be the first meeting against Mexico. We could have a second one in the Gold Cup final. Later in the year, there'll be one in World Cup qualifying, and they'll keep on going. We need to play Mexico as many times as possible. So seize this opportunity and let Honduras know where they are in the pecking order in CONCACAF. The Soccer OG hit that subscribe button. Let's get ready for a summer that we won't forget, we hope.